Hi everyone, this is Saurabh Thakur and I'm going to review a book today. So this is the book Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh. He wrote this book in early 1950s and it was published in 1956, and it is a novel, a post-colonial literature and also a post-war literature, and it's a historical fiction. So it is set in the backdrop of partition of India in two halves in 1947 in the summers, and it is set in Punjab. So this novel, the speciality about this novel, that why I am recommending you this novel in this quarantine, and actually I was nominated by someone that I must review a book of mine which is my favorite or which I can recommend to people to read in this particular quarantine time, and that you people are very free and good readers, and the lovers of literature are very lucky. We all are lucky. I mean, I'm also a literature lover, so you can read this book in this quarantine. So I will review this book a bit, and the special thing about this book is that I read this book in only 8 hours, continuously in 8 hours. I still remember the day was of Sunday, and the place was library of my university, and I sat at 10:30 a.m. and I completed it at 7:30 p.m. So near about 8 hours. So it took me 8 hours, and I hold a personal record of reading a novel in a day. So this is not to show it off that with how much pace or speed I can read. You see, there can be many people faster than me, but the point is that the specialty about this book is that it sticks you to every page, and you are so much curious and desperate to know about the next page, that what will happen next, and you turn it up and you can never leave it. So that is the specialty of this book, Train to Pakistan, and I have written here something at the end of this book. When I read this book in 23rd/07/2017, that was the date, and day was Sunday, and what I have written is that today I read one of the amazing and pleasing and wonderful novels as I never read in my hitherto career. So that was the thing that I wrote 3 years back. So I read it first 3 years back, and I really enjoyed this book. See, it's a historical fiction, but it's not at all boring. I have read many other novels of Indian writers like Raja Rao's Kantapura or Bhisham Sane's Tamas. So I must say those novels are very significant, relevant, and important as well. But I must say that those novels were boring. But this novel is not boring. Why? Because the protagonist in this particular novel is having some romantic scenes in the field with his beloved. Nooran is her name, and she is a Muslim, and our protagonist is Jagat Singh, Jagga Daku. So he is a gangster. So this story is set in a village of Punjab, Mano Majra is the name in this novel particularly. So Mani Majra is still there. So there are many people living from many communities, from Sikh and Hindu and Muslims. So at that time, at the time of partition, people were migrating from one country to another, and Muslims were going to Pakistan, and other Sikhs and Hindus were coming to India to be in this country. So that is the whole story set in this novel, and you find that the good relationship of people living in this village. So there is a lot of disturbance in the whole country because of partition, but the people of Mano Majra are not at all worried, and they even don't know that what is being going on in this country, the partition, and people are migrating from one place to another. They are leaving their home, and they did not know that where they will end up, and they will dwell or something like that. But in this village, people are very serene, and the ambience is totally very serene and peaceful. But here you find the government officials, the corrupted government officials also, and there is a government official, magistrate of this particular village. Hukum Chand is his name, and he is the deputy commissioner of this village as well. So he comes there, and he also demands for a prostitute. The name of prostitute was Hasina, a very good name. She was also a Muslim, and there was also a sub-inspector assisting him. So they saw the condition of the village, and this Jagat Singh, he loves Nooran so much, and they are having some good time at the fields, and you find that the language and the expression is very frank in this particular novel, and you really enjoy reading this novel. So I must say that You should read it once. You should read it once. So you will never get bored. See, everybody has their own taste. So I won't say that everybody's taste will be like that, but this is not like a war fiction, just like historical novels are boring. So, in the middle, a person comes, Iqbal Singh, in the village, and then he was caught for the murder. So there was a person, Lal Singh was something like that was his name, and he was killed. And then this Jagga, because he was a gangster, though he was not doing any kind of mischievous activities because of the love he was getting from Nuran, but he was suspected of the case that he is the most mischievous guy of the village. So he was caught and he was busted, and he was accused of murdering that person. And now this Iqbal Singh is also in the village. He is a young guy, and then he was also caught by the police, by this Hukum Chand, and they were suspected and they were accused of the murder. But this Iqbal Singh, and later they change his name to Muhammad Iqbal, just to make him a kind of terrorist, or because just to show that Muslims are not good for you. So kind of the scuffles were going on in the country, and they also wanted the same to happen in this particular village. So but people were very kind of generous to one another. So now Hukum Chand, the magistrate, they planned that we will send the Muslims to the refugee camps, and he assured the villagers that we will send them to refugee camps, and then you will look after their houses. And they said, yes, we will look after their houses. But the plan was to send them to Pakistan. That was the whole plan. So in the middle, one train comes from Pakistan, and in that train people were like Sikhs and all, but that train did not come with people, but with the dead bodies. So with the burnt dead bodies. So they set that train to fire, Pakistanis, and they killed everybody who was boarding that particular train. So now the plan was that we will send these Muslims, our Muslims, to Pakistan. And the plan was, because there were some mischievous people also who were planning to kill them. So the plan was that those people who will be sitting on the roof of the train, so we will tie a rope in the bridge, and then when the train will pass from there, and the people who will be sitting on the roof of the train, and it will strike to them, and they will fall off the train and they will die. So that was the whole plan. But now at the end, when this Hukum Chand and some inspector, they all come to know about the plan, so they released, Hukum Chand did a very good deed, and he released this Hukum Chand and Iqbal Singh. So at the end, he changed his name back to Iqbal Singh, not Muhammad Iqbal. So at the end, this Jagga Singh, he comes and he cuts that particular rope by his kirpan, that that knife that Sikhs have, and he saves all the lives. So that is the whole story. I told you in a very brief way, and the story is totally about the relation of Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs, and the relation of India and Pakistan, because at this moment in India there are many scuffles and many debates are going on between Hindu and Muslims, and not every Hindu likes people from Pakistan, and we generally hate them. I'm saying we, actually I don't, but I'm saying we because maximum people of India, those who are from rightist ideology, they hate Pakistanis and they hate Muslims. So I recommend you this book once, that go to the books. Do not find or do not look for the knowledge on social media, because this is not authentic. So go for the authentic knowledge and some experiences and some expressions of very renowned writers of India. So you find that whenever you read a person or writer from India, you find it very relatable, that you can relate to the expression, and this is very comprehensible as well. And I must say that there is a Khushwant Singh literary festival, which is organized in Kasauli, and in Kasauli, Khushwant Singh had his home. So just on his remembrance, so this Lit Fest is organized. So I also visited it once, and there I met Anupam Kher and Vikram Seth, the renowned writer of A Suitable Boy, and also Ashwin Sanghi, and many other big writers, and many people, writers were there from many countries. And it is a very good festival, literature festival. You can also visit it once. And Jaipur festival, everybody knows that that festival is very famous all over the world. But Kasauli festival is also very good because this is in Himachal, Solan district, so you can visit there. And it is in the month of October, or maybe, it's not sure, by the way, that when they will organize it. So I went there once, so that is very good. So that's all about this book, and I tried to make it very short. So thank you so much. You can also tag your 1, 2 or 3 good reader friends, and so that they can also recommend this world some good books that they are reading, or they love to read, or they have already read books, and they can recommend to people, so that people don't waste their time in other things, other bullshit things going on in this country, and they spend their valuable time and utilize the time by reading good books. And thank you so much. Bye bye.